So I'm going to walk you through the Brilla Student app. My name is Nbebo. I was a NSMQ 2020 finalist, and Brilla Lab is an initiative that is meant to help students prepare for the NSMQ. The idea is to make the NSMQ preparation easy, straightforward, and accessible to every student. So right now what you can see is my home screen, and I'm showing you the desktop view of the app. If you open it on your mobile device, it's going to be different. It's going to look different. So this is, if you go to students.brillalab.com, this is what you see. This is the home page. The top here are just quick stats that you could view. So if you're on a day streak, if you've been practicing every day, you have a streak. This is like your experience point, because as you complete challenges, you get experience points. This is your accuracy, and this is the number of topics you've completed. And this just takes you straight to the previous topic you were learning, and the subject cards take you to the learn page. So a quick recap. Let me go to the learn page. So if you go to the learn page, the app is organized in subjects, levels, and there are various sections. So the section here, where my cursor is right now, is called the speed sheets feature. It's a bunch of memorization tables, tricks, shortcuts for NSMQ that helps you solve fast and help you beat the speed race. So if you know these constants, they are values, they are trends that you need to memorize that would help you solve very fast. And then down here below, where you see the subject cards, are your learning routes. So every subject has a learning path that you can follow. And it's basically, let me click on, let's say, physics. It's a list of topics that are organized in chronological order, and also they have difficulty tags. So level 1 topics are generally SHS syllabus topics, and level 2 starts to get a bit intense. They're still SHS topics, but then includes some university concepts, and level 3 goes up to the university level concepts. So let me choose a topic from this page. So this is the learn page. First of all, I clicked on the physics subject and it brought me here to this page. If I click on the any of the topic cards, it's going to open another page, which is the topics page, and that is where I can learn everything I need to know about that topic for the NSMQ. Let me give you a quick recap. So the top section here is just a quick nav. It shows you the subject's name, and you can do a quick search. So if you want to search, let's say work, it could filter it and give you the specific topic. Harmonic, filter. You have the search bar here, and you have the speed sheet for that subject also linked here. So if you remember, if you go to the learn page, if I go back, I have direct access to the speed sheets here. But if I click on physics, I can also access it here right from physics. I'll show you the speed sheet later, because right now I just want to focus on the learning. If I click on work, energy, and power, it's going to open up the topics page, right? And the page for that topic has 3 themes that would help you prepare for the NSMQ. The first thing you see here is the flashcards, and it's selected by default. The flashcards are a bunch of fundamental concepts that you have to know that helps you across the board. So these are definitions, these are laws, these are effects, these are descriptions that would help, that you need to know, that you need to have mastered to help you prepare for the NSMQ. Usually what you have to do is that you have to complete your SHS syllabus, read all the science textbooks to get that comprehensive understanding. But not everything you read in your textbooks is relevant to the NSMQ. So this just condenses all the information you need into flashcards and presents it to you in 3 levels. So there's the intro level, there's the core level, and then there's the advanced level. The advanced, once again, is more advanced topics that go into the university level concept. If I go back to the intro level, the idea is that you can flip the flashcard as interactive, so you can check the definition, and if you know the definition, you can click, you got it, this is self-reporting panel, you got it or you missed it. How flashcards work in real life is you have a deck of cards. On top of it, you have the definition, and you have to recite or say out loud the definition or the concept to yourself, and then you flip the flashcard to see whether you got it right or not. You also, in real life, you give it to a friend and then they show you the definition, and you say they show you the term, and then you see the definition, and then they compare whether grade you. So you have a deck of cards where you got correct and the ones that you got wrong. So here, how it does that is you self-report whether you got this correct or not. And as you self-report, you progress through the tracks, which ones you got wrong, which ones you got correct. And at the end, they're still going to surface the ones you got wrong back to you for you to try them again. And at the end of every flashcard, you have a quiz to test your understanding, to test whether you've mastered that flashcard before it marks it as complete, right? I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but if you progress through the whole flashcard, you see what I mean. So this is the core card. So there's a work and energy concept. If I flip it, it's going to show me the definition. If there's a formula I need to know, it's going to tell me, and I can just like flip through all of them. If I don't want to grade and I just want to check it out, I can also. And then you can also self-grade here. There are these buttons that can help you navigate if you don't want to like drag or swipe. And there's the advanced mode. Once again, I said the advanced mode has advanced concepts that might fall in the realms of university topics that you should know. They're usually laws, concepts, definitions, effects that you should know. So this is just me flipping through. So there are theorems as well. You don't need to know in detail what a theorem is, but knowing the name and the definition of it helps you a lot in the speed race. It helps you a lot in the riddles, and it helps you in the round one as well. Then you go to the formula bank, right? So the formula bank has all the formulas for a topic. Every topic has all the formulas that you need to know. So for work, energy, and power, these are the formulas you need to know. And it's a very comprehensive list. There are other sections as well, like some of the constants in that formula, key fact, and some NSMQ tips that is good to know. But let me focus on the formula section. So if I click on, let's say, the first formula, it's going to open up a quiz for me. Sorry, it's going to open up a modal. A modal is just like a window which has questions for that formula. They're just supposed to help me train and practice using that formula. And the questions, they are also organized in easy, medium, and hard. So if I click medium and hard, I'm going to get all the questions for it. When you click show answer, you can check whether you got the answer correct. It's going to show you how you should have solved it. But once again, this is self-paced learning. So as you go through the flashcards, as you go through the formula bank, it helps you build the concept and also learn how to use the formula bank questions so that you can like train really on it. And it's a complete comprehensive list, like knowing all the formulas for a particular topic, including the easy and advanced formulas, is one of the biggest steps, the biggest things you need to know for an NSMQ. You need to memorize a bunch of formulas. That's just how it is. So this just gives it to you in a very structured way. You don't need to go into a textbook and look for the formulas, or read a bunch of things and grab SHS textbooks and grab university textbooks just to find out what the formulas you need are. And some of the formulas are not relevant, but these are all the relevant formulas you need for the NSMQ, and it's a complete list. The next tab here is the practice tab. So you get the concepts that you need to study, get all the formulas for a particular topic that relate to the NSMQ. And the other thing you get on the learn page is practice questions. Now these are anywhere from 25 to 30 practice questions. And what are these practice questions? These are actual, real NSMQ questions that were asked that relate to that topic that you're studying, that is like directly related in a way. So you can view the questions, NSMQ questions, you can read them, you can flip them to see the answer. You can also self-grade whether you got the answer correct. It's all just like you self-learning. So you can read a question to yourself, you can solve it, flip it, check whether you got the answer. If you didn't get the answer, you flip it back, solve again, flip it. I mean, you don't need to flip because the first time you already know the answer, but you self-grade whether you got it correct eventually or not, just at your own pace, at your own time. One of the cool features that the practice questions have is an AI assist. So if you click this AI assist, it's going to open up a panel where the AI would explain how to use the formula. It's going to explain the question to you, what formula to apply to the question, and how to use the formula. And there's an extra tab called the shortcut. What a shortcut does is I will look at the question, look at the database of NSMQ questions that I have, and figure out what would have been a faster way to solve it, right? So here it's telling you the formula to use, the Lorentz factor. This is the formula. It's good to know, good to have this memorized. The beta here is the V over C, and this is how to solve for the beta. And you get 2 over 3 and you plug it, but it's going to show you all this. And at a point in time, you need to do approximations, and it's going to tell you how you could have approximated it, and it's going to tell you how to present your answer. Now, if you look at the original question, it's given in 1 SF, so it's 2 microseconds, 2 times 10 to the power 8 meters per second. These are 1 SF, so your answer has to be 1 SF, but 1 SF, I mean, it has to be 3. So here, when you solve, you get 3.68. You don't need to say 3.68, you need to say 3. You need to round it off to 1 SF. And it's going to show you how to do that. It's going to show you the relationship, some logic you could have applied, like if the velocity is greater than 0.5 the speed of light, it means that the Lorentz factor would be greater than 1.15. So knowing this, you immediately know that the answer has to be greater than 1. And if you get 2 point something, you can guess 3. That's how this section is, this AI helps you to solve fast. And even below, it could tell you the relationship between the beta and the Lorentz factor. So let's say in a speed race, you have these memorized. That if I solve for beta, that is the V over C. So in the question, you are given the velocity and you divide by the speed of light, right? So if I divide this velocity by the speed of light and I get 0.6, I should immediately know that the Lorentz factor is going to be 1.25. And if you learn these, you memorize all these for a set of beta. So let's say you memorize for 0.6 to 0.5 or whatever. If you have all these common ones that appear, and here it's telling you which ones are common, you can immediately approximate the Lorentz factor without solving. That's how you solve really fast. So here, you keep in mind that whenever the beta is 2 over 3, the Lorentz factor is 2.68, and if I approximate, I get 3 microseconds. That's how. So when you see the question again and you're given 2 times 10 to the power 8 meters per second, you don't wait to solve, you just have it memorized. So you just press and give your answer. Excuse me. And the other tab is the hints that can show you how you could have approached the question to begin with. So that is the learn page, right? You have all these comprehensive, well thought out, well researched information, from concepts to formulas to actual NSMQ questions to try your answer. And as I said, if I go back, it's organized in topics. So I can click a new topic. Let's say, let me go down below. Let's say nuclear physics, and it's going to have concept cards, the flashcards for it as well, organized in 3 levels. It's going to have all the formulas that I need to know for nuclear physics. All right, here you're going to have practice questions that relate to nuclear physics here as well. That's how it can help you with your NSMQ. The other thing that I said I would go back to is the speed sheet features. You can call it formula sheet, you can call it whatever, but it's basically a reference sheet that you need to know and have. Some of these things you write them down during the contest, like during the live contest. So if I open the physics speed sheet, this is how it looks like. I'm going to collapse this bar because I want this to stretch out. Once again, if you open it on your phone, the layout is going to be different, but it has the same content. So the physics speed sheet, right? I said it's a complete list of things that you're supposed to have memorized. Some of these you're supposed to have written down during the contest or even before the contest. And these involve the speed of light, like constant, fundamental constant, the speed of light, the Planck constant. You have to know all these by heart. And it tells you what you're supposed to know, the SI unit, and also their inverses. The inverses is very, very important. Trust me. In the previous question, you saw that when we were calculating beta, we had a velocity over the speed of light. In a question, let's say you have 1 over the speed of light. You don't need to calculate on the spot. If you have the inverse memorized, you can just solve for it immediately. And then the speed sheet features, it tells you which ones you're supposed to write down and which ones you can just memorize without writing down. So here you have to know the SI base unit offhand. You don't need to necessarily write them down. Another important thing is the derived units. These usually just come in the speed race. They can actually express voltage in the SI base unit. Now, if you have this written down or you have this memorized, you don't need to do it. Like, you just press the bell and you just provide the answer, and that's how fast you can be. And it's a very comprehensive list. It's a long list. Another important thing is the subatomic particles and their classification. This occurs a lot in quarterfinals and above. So quarterfinals, semifinals, the question can be as simple as what is the what's the name? What is the classification of an electron? Is it a lepton? Is it a baryon? Is it a quark? And you should know these things, right? You don't have to dig through textbooks to find out what you should know. And there's a comprehensive list, a lot. I'm going to show you a different speed sheet so that you know it's not just for physics, it's for every subject. So if I go back and I click on the chemistry speed sheet, I'm going to have what I need to know for chemistry. Most of the things here you have to write down because chemistry is a lot of trends, a lot of colors, a lot of you have to know the complete periodic table, and you have to write a complete periodic table down. Yes, that is what it takes to do NSMQ. So if I press the periodic table here is interactive. So if I press on an element, it's going to tell me the name, the mass, atomic mass number, and the group or period it is in. So you can just memorize the table in order and write it out, everything. And you have a lot of things. Spawn angles, this is also very important. It occurs a lot. And it occurs in riddles, it occurs in round 1, speed race. There are a bunch of series you should know of, like electrochemical series, alloys, a bunch of them. So that is the learn page. I showed you what the subject learning parts look like. I showed you what the speed sheets look like. So the next thing I'm going to show you is the drills arena. I renamed this from challenge arena. If you were following the video all along, it was challenge, but I renamed it to drills because it makes more sense. It makes sense for the NSMQ and it sounds better. But that's just a side note. So the drills arena is to help you test your knowledge in real NSMQ conditions. What I mean is you're given the question is read out loud to you, and you're given a time to solve the question and provide the answer. You have options to provide the answer with your voice by just saying the answer or typing the answer. There's also manual grading. And there are different modes for the drills. You can have a sprint, which just gives you 20 questions. So all the topics across all the subjects, it takes 20 questions from them and mixes them and gives it to you to train on. There's a survival mode. It gives you as many questions as it can from the database, but you have 3 lives. So just to show how fast or how long you can go without losing your 3 lives when you make an error. And time trial gives you 3 minutes to solve as many questions as you can. That's like to simulate the pressure. The interesting thing, one powerful mode is the custom mode. Here it lets you create the questions you want to train on. So assuming I want to train on just heat energy and temperature, I can select that and I can select the number of questions here. The max is 25 questions. And when I start, it's going to just give me heat, energy, and temperature. I'm just going to show you the sprint mode because it's relevant. So it's going to give you 20 questions. Each question is either 10 seconds or 30 seconds. And my best attempt so far has been 3. Let's see if I can beat that. But I'm going to click start drills and it's going to go into a mode where it prepares the questions, the audio, it warms up my microphone.
The gradient of the curve y equals ax squared plus bx plus c is 4x plus 4, and the function has a minimum value of 2. Find the constants a, b, and c.
Once again, these are actual NSMQ questions that I read out to you. The AI reads the question to you. You have 3 options to answer with your voice, type, or manual. You're given 30 seconds to answer because this is a solving question, and you can click to answer. So that's the pressure environment that trains you for the quiz. So once the question is done being read, the timer starts. I'm going to try and answer this. A is 2, B is 4, and C is 4. So it had me say A is 2, B is 4, and C is 4, and that is the correct answer, and the mark there is correct. And when you go to the next question, it's going to read it and you can answer. So here you have 20 questions, and it shows you the ones you got correct, the ones you got wrong.
What is the exact value of the elementary charge?
I don't think I know this. So I'm gonna go into manual mode. Let me just take a crack at it. 1.602 times 10 to the power negative 19 coulombs. I got it correct. So it was 1.602, but it's long. It's quite long. I just gave in these figures and it's still marked correct. I think in SF that was acceptable. But I'm going to show you how the type and then the manual mode works as well. So
find the exact value of cos 17 degrees, cos 13 degrees, minus sine 17 degrees, sine 13 degrees.
So in this mode, I'm going to type the answers. I'm going to select the type option. And when I tap this, you have 5 seconds to start typing, else it marks it wrong. So I'm just going to start typing. I typed anything just to stop at 5 seconds. Don't do that. That's a cheat. But yeah, I'm going to type this 3/2. Because I know these questions, I can guess what the answers are. But hopefully, it should work. Maybe it won't get. Let me see square root 3/2. So I'm going to submit to the AI to grade it. And hopefully I get it correct. Fingers crossed. Hey, I got it correct. And the next one, I'm going to show you the manual mode. The manual mode is basically cheating, but sometimes you can't type or you can't say the answer. So you can just manually grade yourself. I don't know why.
Name the layer that separates the ectoderm from the endoderm in a developing fetus.
This should be 10 seconds because it's biology. So I'm going to go to manual. Once I tap manual, I'm going to stop the timer. And it's going to tell me, did I have this answer? And I can self-grade. So let's say I missed it because, I didn't know what this was. It's going to say missed. And I can go to the next question. And yes, you go on and on and on to the 20 questions. If you choose infinite questions like in the survival mode, it's going to give you the questions, all the questions it has, until you lose your 3 lives. And you can also customize it in the custom mode. So I'm going to end the session. It gives me a summary that once I got correct, I didn't get any bonus and my accuracy was 60%. This is just a short summary of what happened during the session. So as I said, you can go into survival, time trial, custom, and try it out. Custom lets you create what questions you have, but it's going to read the questions to you like you would during the actual NSMQ contest, and you can answer with your voice. And yeah, it's a lovely feature. It's a very great feature to have to train on questions. And I'm consistently updating the database with fresh questions and new questions. So you might go into, you can train for 3 months and then go in and the questions don't repeat, because if you train a lot, you would have seen most of the questions. The questions are a lot. They're about 2,000 plus questions in the database just for the student app. So you could have trained on the 2,000, I don't know. But the questions they're fresh questions that get updated into the system. So the chances of you seeing a fresh question is high. If you had noticed, the questions that are being read were 2025 questions. Those are very fresh questions that you can train on. It goes all the way back to 2015. But that is the drills page, the drills arena that helps you train for actual NSMQ questions. Previously was known as the challenge arena. But yeah, check it out. Go to students.brillalab.com. So if you go to the analytics page, it gives you analysis on what you've been doing in the app so far. It shows you the number of topics you've completed, if you've completed any, your average accuracy, your average time it takes you to solve a question. This is relevant to the drills page, you have more breakdown subjects level analytics for each of the 4 subjects. It shows you your progress so far. So here it says biology 5%. I haven't really completed anything, but if you've done more practice or learned more flashcards, it will give you a breakdown of what is your accuracy, what is your mastery of those concepts, and here you can figure out what your weak areas are and address it. And also, if you do more topics, it can give you a breakdown of what your weak topics are. The drill speed shows you your speed across the different modes, your average speed. So this is very useful because it gives you a quick overview of what your strengths are in the subjects, what your strengths are in the topics, and weaknesses are in the topics if you complete a lot more topics, and your average accuracy across all the board. So the analytics is supposed to give you information that would help you better your training and tailor your training. So check it out. So I'm going to go to the last feature, which is the Brilla AI. I'm going to do a separate video on the Brilla AI just because it's so dense and it's such a powerful feature that I want you to know fully what it can do. So expect a different video on the Brilla AI. But just know that it can generate questions for you. It can go into the NSMQ archive and analyze any trend or style of NSMQ question. You can find specific questions. You can say what were the 2025 NSMQ riddles, and you can find it on the spot. So just expect that video and look forward for it. Yep, and it's student.brillalab.com. The goal is to make sure that your preparation for the NSMQ is targeted, it's easy, and it's accessible to every student. It's supposed to empower you. It has all the features you need. I'm continuously building it with my team to make it fast, to make it powerful enough to add questions to it, to research NSMQ based on my experience and other past contestants, to make it available to you. So go to student.brillalab.com and check it out. The link will be in the description. This is what you need for the NSMQ if you're serious about NSMQ. There's a coach app as well, which is at just brillalab.com. You can check it out, but it's reserved for coaches, coordinators, trainers, and you need to request access to it. But yeah, this is a brief demo of the student app, and hope to see you soon.